All right. And we are live, I believe. Welcome back to another episode of Kaia Roundtable. This session we are going to be talking about ETHDenver a little bit, but I think generally speaking, we're going to go, off topic and just discuss the market and our projects, respectively. We have a great lineup today. Representatives from some of the top Kaya ecosystem projects. And of course, all the projects here today are on our DApp portal. So feel free to go to the DApp portal at any time and to check out these amazing dApps. So we have uh, teams from we have Elderglade, we have Banana, and we have Layer Finance. Definitely teams that we've that's been on our roundtable before, and certainly a great pleasure to have you guys back. Just providing a little bit of a background. Today's topic, we're going to be talking a little bit about ETHDenver. The reason being, 2 weeks ago now, I think 2 weeks ago, the Kai team was at ETHDenver, but as well as some of our ecosystem teams, the three teams we have here today: Layer, Banana, and Elderglade. And we had two events during ETHDenver. One was in partnership with Kindle, and another was in partnership with Dora Hacks, which is also a GC member of the Kaya chain. Both events were pitching sessions. One was hosted at the main stage of ETHDenver, and another one was at a side event. Both events had great turnouts, and our teams were there. Because I know Adomas was there with their booth, and I've heard some good feedbacks from the interaction they've had with projects there. And so that's why we're here. We want to do a little bit of recap of what's happened during ETHDenver. Was supposed to do it last week, but had some scheduling issues, so we're doing it this week. I think it's also good that the ETH price is recovering a little bit as we're doing this. So that's going to be the topic of our roundtable today. So as is by tradition, we are going to go ahead and do a round of introductions of each of the guests we have today. We have here today, and of their projects. And I'll dive right into some questions we have prepared for today. But of course, again, this session is going to be pretty chill. If you have any questions, audience, feel free to type in your questions wherever you are watching our roundtable. Today's roundtable is live streamed on our Couch and YouTube, Facebook, and our X. So, Adomas, why don't you get us started? Tell us about yourself and about Outerglade. I think if people the guests here are Kaya fans, they should know already about Outerglade. But why don't you give us an introduction about the project, about yourself? Go ahead.
Yeah, so thanks, Larry, for having me. So my name is Adamas. I'm CEO and founder of W3Forge, a game development studio, which is responsible for building Elderglade, which, as Larry mentioned yourself, we are available on online and launching it basically on Kai ecosystem. So who haven't tried it out, the best way to describe us would be just trying out that one of our games to understand what sort of a work we're doing. But generally speaking, we're just a game development studio, and we've been doing that since 2021, and been doing that quite successfully, I would say.
Thank you, and thank you again for coming, Adomas. I know you're very busy building the project, and thank you so much for coming. And we'll be back to you with a bit more questions later. Next, how about we have Kiki from Layer Finance? Can you come and say hello and tell us about Layer?
Hi guys, can you all hear me?
Very clear.
Okay. I'm Kiki from Layer Finance, and I'm taking part in marketing. I do all the content, socials. I basically share Layer offline and online. And Layer Finance is a liquid risk-taking platform that's built on Kaya chain, and we allow users to stake Kaya tokens and receive rewards, how many as they want. And yeah, I can't wait to start this roundtable with you guys. Thanks for the invite.
Thank you, Kiki. We will definitely be coming back to you in just a little bit. And Leo from Banana, why don't you also give us an introduction about yourself and Banana as well?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Larry. So this is Leo. I'm co-founder and CGO of Carve. And in Carve, we are building a data framework, which is to empower the AI agent and also to utilize all the users' like personal data in a privacy-preserving manner with the TE. And also, Carve is doing the gaming vertical, including having the gaming platform. And also, we have several like first-party games that we publish. And Banana is one of the like star project of it. So as you know, like Banana is launched on Kaia right now, and it's an AI-driven idle game with the core gameplay kind of like collecting the meme-inspired bananas, and also it's utilizing the Carve data framework. So it's in a gamification way to empower the users to own, control, and monetize their like personal data. Yeah, it's a great pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Leo, and it's a pleasure to have you here. Before we get started, I just want to really quickly, for all the audiences out there, if you have not yet already, please do follow the Twitter accounts of our projects here today. They've been sending some great updates and great, there are some really good campaigns happening with each of the projects. Plenty of opportunity to earn. So Layer Finance is x.com/layerfinance. Elderglade is x.com/elderglade, and for Banana is the Banana Game with 3E, GAMEEE. So those are the 3 Twitter accounts. Make sure to follow them for the latest updates. Now, before we talk about ETHDenver, I think all 3 of the projects here today are having some really good updates and new campaigns. So I actually want to start today's session by having each of the projects introduce a little bit about what's happening, what's new with your project, right? Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, all 3 projects here today are dApp on the dApp portal, which you can access via Line or on the web with dappportal.io. So I want to actually just to focus our attention first to what's happening with the dApps themselves. So why don't we go with the reverse order this time with Leo? Can you tell us about what's new with Banana Game, and are there any current campaigns that's going on that users should learn about, should participate? Why don't you tell us about the dApp more?
Yeah, thank you. So recently we are preparing something big. It's a new feature, and it's actually an in-game AI agent. Because I think the Banana's like purpose is in a gamification way, in a fun way to allow our users to contribute their data. And it's like we are not taking their data, but it's using the TE to make sure data is utilized in a privacy-preserving manner, and then distribute the user's data to like different parties, including our gaming partners, any brands. If they want to set a task to let some users finish their task to gather rewards, and then they are using their users' data. And also, we are giving part of the revenue generated from their data utility back to the users. And all this was packed and covered in a very fun, like Banana collection way. And so this is the current like structure of Banana. And based on this, what we are creating right now is kind of like a monkey, which is an AI agent in the game. And the monkey can talk to you on a daily basis and let you know if you contribute like this kind of data and to the data framework, and also maybe authorize some of the OAuths from your maybe Steam account, Twitter account, to let us know more about you, to know like what kind of player you are. Then it will be able to help you generate more revenue and give like more value back to the users. And also the monkey will try to match the best like customers, the data consumers to these users. For example, if one of our gaming partners is trying to like get access to a user who has been like playing some Steam game, or is like holding a lot of the assets on Kaia, and then the monkey will be able to match that users with this like data consumers with the in-game task. Only these users can see that in-game task. And when he finish the task, and he can get the rewards from the task, and also from the data utility, there are small like revenue share through the Carve ID, which is like generated by the data framework. So I guess in 1 week and no more less than like 2 weeks, our players will be able to see that like cute monkey in the game. Yeah, that's something we are preparing right now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So make sure to follow up on all the latest updates for Banana, and I'm quite excited about this new update coming up in the next week or two. I want to turn this question now. No, thank you, Leo. I want to turn this question now to Kiki, because I know Layer is having there was an airdrop checking period a few days ago, I think. Tell us about that. Is there still an opportunity for users to be part of that? What's going on with the Layer airdrop? Because that seems to be a lot of hype around that. And also, by the way, feel free to like turn your cameras on or leave it on. Because
Oh yeah.
you guys all had like really nice setups, really nice lighting as well. But I don't know, maybe just a bit shy today. But anyway, sorry, Kiki, go ahead.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, we recently dropped our airdrop checker for users to check if they are eligible for something that's coming next. And yeah, and also we recently announced AVS partners, which is our vault. It's one of the function in our website where you play the game of our partners, including Elder Glade, and you stake the token to get more rewards from the vault. So basically, our platform just give you a lot of presents, surprise, and rewards. So yeah, make sure you check our website layer.fi and try to participate because this is not the end. There's more coming up. So we would love to have more guests on our website. And before I finish, Larry, have you played our game?
I That's a good question.
Got you.
I will be truly I'll be 100% transparent.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
only
got it. That
games,
was enough. That silence was enough.
this is actually exactly I've had this exact same conversation with Ronnie 2 weeks ago in Denver. He was like,
Right.
because I was staking my my Kaia tokens. But I have not staked it with Layer. I have done it now after
Yeah.
talking with Ronnie. And
Okay.
now after talking to you, I'll be going back and playing the game.
Yeah. So on that portal, we participated on Kaia
Yes.
Wave 1. So our game is out there. It's been like, I don't know, maybe 2 months. So you definitely have enough time to play it. And our game is very simple. So you just tap on it and that's it.
We'll do that. We'll do that right after this. Off this roundtable. To be transparent, I have not played Banana as well either. I have played Elder Glade, but I'm very bad at it. And Adomus knows it. I cannot win. I have no idea why. But I will be back to the games, and I'll definitely be trying it out after our roundtable for sure.
Gotcha.
For sure. Thank you, Kiki. Really exciting stuff coming out of Layer Finance. Next up, Adomus, why don't you share with us a bit of what's happening with Elder Glade? By the way, Elder Glade was the winner for our phase 1 of the Kaia Wave DApp competition. So congrats, Adomus. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about Elder Glade now? What's happening? Any new things and exciting things we should be expecting?
Yeah, thanks, Larry. It's very hard to tell if there's anything new happening because it's constantly something happening, and we constantly updating and releasing new things. So but all the time when someone asks, what's coming next, it's really hard for me to grasp. Let's say what's the most important part. Because we're constantly updating our game, updating the gameplay. I would say the biggest thing which is coming quite well along is being the main game, which is currently, I would say, probably about 85% done. It's being live tested with selected user base. Unfortunately, it needs a little bit more improvement on the balancing side of things. Unfortunately, it's one of those things which takes loads of time, and it doesn't look that appealing because it's just the mathematics on the back end and how they working out. But the good thing is it's almost done. So that's the most exciting thing. I would say probably most exciting for the user base would be when that's actually going to be going live and they're going to have their hands, or let's say paws, into that, testing everything out. So that's the most exciting or upcoming thing from our end. And so far, we've been putting loads of hours into it. So, yeah. So hopefully it's gonna be accepted quite well. Yep, that's pretty much it. And regarding the minigame, we're always trying to improve it. And I believe just quite recently, a couple of days prior, we released additional update. A lot of things goes regarding the backend and the smoothness, how everything operates. If you tried it yourself, you probably, from the user perspective, would have noticed that it kind of went a long way when it started. So the good thing is we have less and less downtime. Everything is getting more and more optimized, and yeah, just becoming more and more pleasant experience to 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 play. So yeah, so that's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
For sure. I mean, obviously, the projects we are here today are definitely, with like the first batch of the dApps that's been with us since day one. And I think, the dApp themselves, and of course the entire dApp portal experience, and I think, has been, improving quite a lot since the launch date. And actually, it feels like a long time, but I think it's only, it's still less than 2 months since the day we launched the dApp portal, which was 22nd of January. But I think, the type of games, the type of projects we have, the existing dApps we have, and the dApp portal itself, I think just from experience perspective has improved definitely quite a lot. And obviously, I mentioned earlier, Elderblade is the winner from our latest growth competition. But actually, both Layer and Banana are actually on the top 10 as well in terms of the ranking of our growth competition. So actually, I do have a question that I wanted to point out to all of our guests today regarding what makes a successful dApp on the dApp portal, at least today. But I'll come back to that question in just a little bit because I think that is actually quite a juicy and interesting question, because I've been meeting quite a lot of different dApp teams, and they've been asking us, right, what makes a successful dApp? And, even existing dApps that's on the dApp portal are also always finding ways to improve their to improve their success. One thing that Kiki brought up, I think, is really important, is sort of the cross collaboration that's happening between different types of dApps on the dApp portal. I don't think we only have a few cases of this, but I think where we are going to see more where dApps are collaborating with each other to make this ecosystem even more active. But before we go into that detail, I want to go back to the topic of today, which is around ETHDenver, and I want to ask this question first to Adomas, because obviously, we spent some time during ETHDenver, and I think I'll just make this very, very generic. Just generally speaking, what were some of your observations from ETHDenver this year? Were there any key takeaways, I guess, you wanted to share with us? But also, have Elderglade or your team, made any progress or any benefits from attending ETHDenver?
Yeah, thanks, Larry. So, as I'm telling to everyone, what we brought back from Denver was two things. So, a cowboy boots, which we bought for each team member, and we brought some nasty sort of a flu or COVID from them. Looks like whole conference got sick that sort of way. I'm still, to be honest with you, quite recovering from it. But jokes aside, yeah, I believe Denver was quite great. For me, it was my first experience in ETHDenver. If the rumors are right, it was the last Denver, ETHDenver, of their, so the end of their, let's say, ETHDenver conference journey. So it was an interesting conference, slightly different from the ones which happening in Asia, which I'm quite used to. I cannot really comment on it too much because it was my first ETHDenver to begin with, but it was the right conference. It was very. It was our first year trying it out as a part of an ecosystem and not someone individual. So it was quite an experience doing that as well. So it was more of an interesting. Let's say, sort of approach and feeling. The good thing is, we had the goals which we set for ourselves for the conference. Our main goal was showcasing and expanding and showcasing basically to to the brighter waters of the ETHDenver, and I think we succeeded in that sort of a case. Lots of people got to know what the Elder Glade is, also the Kaia ecosystem, and explored it in that sort of a way. So I would say we kind of achieved our goals, what we came there for. And generally speaking, it was a great conference. If we could minus the weird flu or a virus which was going through the conference, that would be way even better experience, I would say. Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah, definitely second on that. I think that virus, I don't even know, man, if it's ETHDenver virus or we carried it from Hong Kong. But I'm telling you, man, conference season is all sorts of viruses intertwining. Definitely. And another point you made, for me as well, right? It's the first ETHDenver I've been to. Mostly been focused on the Asia conferences, so definitely very different vibes. So I'm really glad to hear that you were able to achieve some of the goals that you guys set forth. I would definitely say, right, Elder Glade team really, had their whole booth set up, and I don't know how you guys do it, man. Yeah, I think you guys arrived really late at night, and I just saw you guys nonstop the whole 3 days with your whole setup. It's incredible. It's true respect for you, man. So glad to hear that. And Kiki and Leo, I know you guys weren't there, but your team were. So I'm just curious, were there any takeaways that that the teams brought back to the projects? Maybe were there something that was shared internally? And I guess there were also a lot of conversation on Twitter, right, about what's happening there as well. So I'm just curious, were there any good feedbacks or observations you've made about ETHDenver this year? A common one that we've seen is it's very different from previous years. So Kiki, why don't you get us started?
Yeah, so our takeaway from Denver was definitely participating in the pitching session with Kaia, and including all different game teams together to share ideas and like learn what they're building for next, what they're focusing on their next step. Just like Noma said, like we were able to learn more about Elder Glade, because before we didn't know anything about it other than the game itself, but now we know that they've been around in gaming area before, like the whole Kaya and everything. So I think those kind of like relationship building were really our takeaways from Denver. And other than that, I heard it was really cold and everyone had to like put their lip balm on 24/7 to like moisturize. Yeah, that was it.
That's true. That's true. I'm not sure about the cold part though, but it was very, very dry.
Yeah. So
Yes. Yeah.
very different from Asian conferences, definitely.
Yes. Oh, it's moist, right? Yeah. Exactly. No, I think you brought a really good point about relationship building and in-person meetups. I feel like it's something that's missing in a lot of the Web3 ecosystems. I do feel like the Kai ecosystem is a lot more in person, right? I think obviously because of sort of our approach of, obviously, you guys have been through the whole process and we have members talking to each of the teams directly, and there's a process that we work through with each other. And obviously Kaya team members is all over the world, always, at these conferences, meeting with different builders and projects. So I think the Kaya ecosystem in general, a lot of the projects are very much docs or for lack of a better word, right? And then people are out there, right? So you know exactly who's behind each team, and people are not afraid of showing themselves. People are very proud of the product they're building, and all the projects I've met so far around the Kaya ecosystem are there for the long term. And I think that's really a unique, powerful part about Kaya. So I think that's a really good point you mentioned. So thank you so much. And Leo, how about from the Carve and Banana team? I know Dazzle was she did very well. Presenting Banana and got a lot of interest. So I'm curious, were there any good feedbacks internally about the experience?
Yes, a lot. Actually, I was also at ETHDenver, but only like 2 days there, so didn't get a chance to attend Kaia experience during the weekends. Yeah, yeah. true, it's super dry there, but several insights, because I think the reason why like everyone expecting ETHDenver is like they're saying ETHDenver will decide the narrative of the whole year, like always. But to be honest, I think this year, maybe because of the market is really bad during ETHDenver, during that several days. So kind of like not so many new narratives, but I feel it's like most of the project is like building their projects in a more solid way, just devote themselves into developing rather than just actively exploring the new narratives like always. So several findings. The first is definitely several emerging ecosystem, which is really exciting, like Kaia. And then another feeling is like ETHDenver is kind of like a AI summit rather than just only a Web3 summit, because everyone is talking about AI and also AI agents. We found several like really exciting projects, including like some AI agent-driven ecosystem. For example, one of the new partner with Carve called Kite AI, like using the AI-powered code generator and also like automatically writing the smart contract and also to audit the contract. Yeah, we are working with among the Carve's like data framework, and also seeing many projects talking about like RWA, trying to connect the like real world assets to the on-chain assets. Yeah, I think AI and RWA might be the two most popular narratives in ETHDenver, what I found. Yeah. So, and yes, of course, a lot of the great conversations.
Yeah, no, thank you for observing, Leo. And sorry, it's a shame we didn't get to catch up in person there. I didn't know you were there as well. But no, I think next conference for sure. But yeah, I think I made very similar observations as you. I think your point about a lack of a strong narrative this year, I think that is true, right? I think sure AI is there and RWA is there, but I think they are sort of they are there. They're sort of always there this recent few months. So there really isn't anything that's very new and very exciting. But anyways, I think even for AI and for RWA, we're still very, very early stage. So so definitely, I've also personally met some good teams in those two fields as well. So yeah, so thank you so much for sharing the insights from ETHDenver. One thing that I wanted also to add on to that is a personal observation is there is a I would say there is a lack of understanding or lack of awareness of the Kai ecosystem, which is why like it's so powerful to have Layer, to have Banana, to have Elderglade there to really showcase. You know, it's one thing that we are there, right, talking about the Kai ecosystem, talking about our advantages with Line, of course, also showing this recent data that we've made. Yes, those are powerful, but I think really having the teams there and having people understand what our teams are like and what are they building, and really seeing the teams in person, and that's actually a feedback that I've heard from people, you know, I've met first time, right, that they've heard from the pitches that our teams are making, and they really, you know, they really see the teams, and the teams are really solid, right? And something I mentioned earlier, right, people are, you know, these are teams that we work with, you know, on a day-to-day basis, and we know each of you and each of the team and the other dApps that we have, that the teams are really working hard to build something long-term. And I think that is really a unique advantage. And you know, of course, we can say all we want, but having the teams there really showcase that strength. So really, again, thank you guys so much for supporting us there. And I hope, you know, we you know, of course, we have a lot of more opportunities to do that in the future. So yeah, I want to actually now come back, now that we've talked a little bit about ETHDenver. I want to come back to more focus again to the dApp portal itself. So yeah, so again, I mentioned earlier, right? We do have a growth competition that is going on, ranking some of the top dApps, right? There's a different sort of factor that goes into, you know, the ranking, right? There is the on-chain wallets, there is the, you know, weekly transactions. There's also the revenue. But regardless of how we judge, the project we have here today are all on the top 10, which are, you know, very good performing dApps. So I would love to ask each one of you, what makes a successful dApp, right? Obviously, the Line/Kaia ecosystem is very different from the other Web3 ecosystems. There's a different approach of being successful. We've had some astonishing revenue numbers that's come out. Kaia Chain have some astonishing growth since the launch of that portal as well. So I'd love to hear from each one of you. What is your secret sauce, right, of building a dApp? Of course, you know, whatever you can share, right? So Leo, why don't you we'll do this order again. Why don't you tell us about what makes Banana so successful, and what are some of the lessons that the other dApps can learn from?
Yeah, thank you so much, Larry. Yeah, I think for Banana and most of the dApps on Dap Portal, at first it's a game, so it should be fun. Before it become actually Web3 dApp, it should be a fun game at first. Not just a potential for the users to earn in the future airdrops, but the experience should be the fun experience. So our view is always like we need to build a solid product from the beginning, which is in a more like a little bit like traditional way of like reviewing if this product is successful or not. For example, reviewing the daily users' activities and which feature they like, they spend more time on this feature, and which feature is not like very popular among the users, and also check the retention. And also even we check the data by different countries to see if our features can actually like satisfy some of the users from certain regions, but cannot satisfy the global users. Yeah, so that is what we do on a daily basis. So based on these views, for example, we do the like localization with our like volunteers from different countries from the beginning, trying to provide as good as possible experience to our players in different countries. So I think this is the first thing we do. I know there are still a lot of things that we need to catch up on. This still many things that we are not like really satisfied our users. But I think this is the kind of like criteria for us internally to make a good product first, rather than just a product for the users to like play to earn or expect in the future airdrop. And the second is we realized that on Kaia ecosystem, the reputation is really important. Yeah, because I think most users are really active. There are a lot of group among the users that they know, okay, this project is doing this campaign and this project is doing these new features. So if any project is not like doing some like really good features or any of the campaigns that is disappointing the users, it's very likely that this will be like spread among all the users. So that is also something we really keep in mind, because we know that it's a very active and loyal group of users. So have to keep the good reputation. And I think the third is just several like more normal way for us to do the growth, including rely on the referral. That we think our players, their power is really great. Compared to like doing advertisement and working with a lot of KOLs, I think we always think the best way to having the growth to make a product success is letting the users spread the product to their friends. So we put a lot of resources and also attention on the referral program, and also the collaboration with like other partners in Kaia ecosystem. Yeah, I think that is the most important things for us. Thanks.
For sure. Really good points. Localization, definitely. I totally agree with you. I think, the dApp portal is a very unique position where we can target very specific market segments. And I think if a project is able to successfully service those very specific segments, they can be very successful, right? We see the data that comes back in, right? Japan, Taiwan, Indonesia, right? These are markets where Thailand, right? These are markets that we're seeing the most success right? Obviously, given where Line is most active. And so definitely, right, that's a really good point for localization and actually something that we look very closely as well. And another point is the partnership cross collaboration. I think it's something that we are now seeing the importance of, and we're trying to do more of, but because we really do see like, because as you said, right, our users are very good at, that they have their own groups and they're always communicating, and I think very, very fast, and they're very fast to pick up, if one project is working with another. So I love this kind of community feeling that's generated across our different dApps and across the Kaia ecosystem. So thank you so much for sharing that insight, Leo. And Kiki, for Layer, what are some of the secret sauce you can share with us? What's making Layer a successful dApp on the dApp portal?
Yeah, so I think with Kaia and Line is a blockchain that you didn't know you needed. So through that portal, Web2 users make money without knowing that it's actual money, which actually onboards people eventually to our platform as well. So until they withdraw the token and exchange into money, so I think this approach gives like smooth user experience, and that also connects to Layer Finance as well. And we see lots of like social-fi apps coming out, but I feel like the sustainability is always questionable. But when it comes to that portal and the games on that portal, it's just a lot smoother and easier for people to experience. And I think that's why people keep playing. And our game is very simple, like raffle ticket. And people think like the rewards and the airdrop is over, but actually because there's events coming up always, there's always a chance for people to like collect their rewards and receive more tokens. So I think that's our best strategy that we can try on that portal.
Thank you. Very, very valuable sharing. Thank you for the insights. And last but not least, Thomas, give us some insights. I guess what makes a successful app.
Well, I cannot tell what's the successful or not successful. I also cannot tell which the strategy is the best, because there are plenty of way different strategies which works quite well. Um, I can share a little bit of our story and what we prioritize. So in the solution and knowing that Line as an application already has quite a huge user base, which is being used on daily basis. We mostly focus bringing those users on chain because this is what we believe matters the most. So our main focus was bringing those users on chain and making them start some on chain movement. So not prioritizing the size of the transaction, but prioritizing those users who start making any transactions at all to begin with. And this led into slowly showing users how to use chain. That it's not so hard to do the transaction, that it's quite an easy and seamless process. And this was our the whole strategy and way and the let's say the whole idea of just taking already existing user base and slowly, without them understanding, transitioning them to perform certain on-chain actions. This is what we worked with, and so far it's been working quite well. I would say I believe Kaia chain itself is quite happy with that because on-chain users are quite important, and Kaia is on-chain chain, not off-chain chain. So to begin with, so this was our thesis, and this is what we've been working on, and I believe we succeeded with this task so far quite well. Are we planning to change that in the near future and shift our strategy slightly differently? Maybe, but so far we still want to maximize that because Line as an application having 200 million users, we only grasp just a small percentage of that, and I believe there's way more that we can tap into. So I believe that's gonna still be strategy for us for quite a while.
I agree with you. Right? We're still in the. Oh,
sorry. Yeah, sorry, Marvin. You've been muted, but no.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. No. Thank you for the insight. And again, I think we're very much in the early stages. So still a lot to experiment. I think we, I think it was a week ago, when we launched our sort of first. Second report of the data that we've gotten back since the launch of that portal, and I've heard from different projects and different founders in the space that these are really good numbers, especially again with the revenue models and with the unique wallets being created. Those are really good numbers, but I think we're still at least from our perspective, we're still very much early, and I think there are still so many untapped opportunities that we can realize moving forward. And really glad to have great teams and founders like you guys here with us to continue to build. And I think for people who've met us offline, who met our team offline, we're true builders. I know I'm biased here, but I think the people, whether they are part of the Kaia team or they're part of our DApp team, I think people are always very pragmatic about building things, and sometimes I feel like even too much focused on building these real world impacts. So very, very much glad that to have you guys with us on this journey together. So yeah, so I think I actually have still a few questions for ETHDenver, but since to be honest, it's I feel like that you guys have covered quite a lot of that already in the previous answer. So I want to just put one last question for ETHDenver out there. What was like the most interesting talk or events that you've been to besides the obviously the events we co-hosted, but what are some interesting talks if or events if it was just one that you think was worth that was really worth it? I will start. Actually, I don't. I'll start. I think we had an event. We had a private dinner with SNZ, one of our another one of our partners. It was really good. Meeting US based partners that haven't had a chance to meet before. Giving us an opportunity again to grow our presence in the Western or North American or English speaking market or whatnot. Meeting people and really understand what are the questions that people have about us. Was really valuable for me personally. And so that dinner and that event, had really good feedbacks from different people, people who maybe didn't know about Kaia or didn't know about Lion, right? And explain to them what we are. And from that, understand what narratives from our perspective really touches them. Because I think, again, I'm always, at these Asian conferences where people really understands what Lion is, and people, most people understand what Kaia is. So it was a bit easier to explain who we are and what we're building. But again, going to ETHDenver this year, people really didn't understand who we are. But once you explain to them, you understand. Okay, what are the key points that really touches them? Is it the power of the Lion app itself, or is it more about the technical advantages that Kaia offers, right? So I think that was really an important event for me personally. But for I guess for Leo and for Domus, what were, I guess, one talk or one event that you guys went to you think was the most memorable or exciting for you guys? How about you, Leo?
Yeah, for me, I attended a lot of the AI agent events. Like one of they call like the ELIZA demo day, kind of like a lot of the very innovative good AI agent projects building on ELIZA, and that was really inspiring. For example, one of the like the partners we meet during that event is called like Infinity Ground, which is like using the natural language to develop the games and also other applications. Actually, because I'm from the gaming background, I have a lot of friends doing these verticals. But at that time, I feel like, okay, this project is really actually doing something really solid and has the actual users. Because one of the challenges for a lot of the natural language generating applications or games projects, the main challenge is who will be their users, no matter it's developers or the users like using those applications, which is not developed by the professional developers, but by those like unprofessional developers using the AI tools to create the applications. But I think they already got like over 1 million users and also many games, many developers. So that was really inspiring. And also, I still remember another talk, which is on the main stage about like why 2025 is the year of the agent, and also the announcement of the Open Agent Alliance. And also there are some like protocol, including the agent interaction transaction protocol. So I feel like many of the like very big names, they are trying to build the ground rules or the infras for the AI agent, kind of like building something that can bring the agent to a larger potential. Yeah, and also definitely the feedback from Dazzle, like Kaia's events is great.
No, that's great to hear. Actually, I want to just follow up on your previous comment. So obviously, you said you've been to a lot of AI type events and talks. What do you think is sort of the next thing that's happening in the AI vertical? Because obviously we've seen a lot with agents, a lot with like trading agents or agents that post stuff for you. I've heard from other people that those are, I think, just the very foundational of what AI can do. There's a lot more potential that's not out there yet. What do you think might be the next thing that will come up to be massively adopted by users? A prediction.
Yeah, I think like during the ETHDenver, what is already launched is mainly the AI plus DeFi, because I think DeFi is the first vertical that we will think that AI agent can do. But actually, there's more like verticals for AI agent, because most of the AI agent right now, they're not the true AI agent. They are not like giving you them. You're giving the AI agent like a final destination or target, and it can help you to reach their destination across different applications. Right now, the AI agent can normally only like control its own application, or maybe one or two very like simple application, for example, to create something on HTML, H5 game or something, but it cannot like really integrate it into, we say, Unity or Unreal 4 to create a game for you. So I think the next step gonna be the true AI agent applications. If we say in the gaming verticals, it should be at least integrated with the gaming developing engine, and also maybe for like booking your trip, your travel, and should be integrated with say maybe Agoda or Grab. Yeah, so that is what I'm expecting. But still on these directions, I'm still trying to explore like how it can be like close to connect to Web3. Why it has to be a Web3 application rather than just a general application. I think this is also a challenge a lot of the AI agent project is facing.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's a really good point. Actually, I'd love to one, when we meet in person next time, I'd love to have this conversation more in depth with you. I think there's a lot of really exciting things to discover there. So thank you so much, Leo. Adomas, how about yourself? Any one event or speech that you thought was exciting, interesting, inspiring?
I wouldn't say just one event or so. It was as usual. It's quite great to meet people in the same space doing the same sort of a thing, and you start to notice that the problems are quite common and everyone's facing the same issues as you do. And you start to feel more of a part of an industry because everyone feeling and participating in the same kind of way, experiencing the same sort of a difficulties, and trying to find a way to overcome them. It's usually quite great, to just generally speaking, meet your player base, which randomly stops at your booth, takes their phone out and starts showing you their scores and says, they've been playing it for quite a while. The most important or interesting interaction, I would say, was leaving the Denver when we've been flying out, and the airport security stopped us because they needed to check because we've been bringing loads of the stuff. They rolled out one of our banners. They saw Elder Blade. They pulled out their phones and started showing their scores, which they have on their phone.
Wow!
So,
really?
So then we noticed that. All right, maybe it's a bit going slightly too far, but I mean, that's pretty much it. There's no. I couldn't comment and say that was one specific event which stuck into, but after a while, all of those events becoming quite similar and just narrows down to one sort of a big side event out of everything in our experience.
Yeah. No, that's actually, thank you for sharing that story. It actually reminds me of also my experience. Again, a bit different from Asia conferences where you pick an Uber in Denver and the driver knows something about Web3 and they want to talk to you about it. They're like, "Oh, you guys are doing crypto. Like, tell me about I know this something about Web3. I know something about crypto." This one driver was like, "Oh, I'm also launching a token, etc." So I think the city itself it's quite connected with what's happening in the industry. Where I think in a lot of the Asia conferences, it's the conference, it's the Web3 industry people, and the external the outsiders really just like a invisible shield there between the city and the crypto people. So that's thank you for sharing that story, Adonis. Kiki, I don't want to leave you out of this, but was there anything that I guess maybe Grony shared with you? Anything interesting? One thing that maybe he was sharing? Yeah.
Grady told me the story event was pretty big. And also, I think he told me about Miladi event. Yeah, I didn't ask too much about it, but I guess it was pretty hyped. So yeah, that's all I could get.
No, thank you. But next time we'll see you guys. I'll see you in person, and you can experience it yourself. Yeah. So Thank you so much. We are close. We're getting closer to the end of the roundtable today. So I think we're gonna end a bit early today because obviously, thank you guys so much for being here. All three of you guys, I know you are very busy. Some of you are quite late. Some of you are quite early. But thank you so much for making the time to be with us here today. The next conferences that Kaia will be at will be CBW and then the Web3 Hong Kong Web3 Festival. So hopefully I will catch up with either yourself or your team member there. I'm sure I'd love to catch up in person. And yeah, for our audience here today, if you have not yet already, please do follow the X accounts of our projects, because as they said, right, there are some really exciting things happening. Airdrops, updates, events, all the good stuff. For Layer Finance, it's x.com/layerfinance. Elderglade is /Elderglade, and Banana is the Banana Game with 3E. Of course, you can also, I think if you just search them up on X, you'll find them as well. But of course, don't forget to follow us as well at Kaia Chain on YouTube, on Facebook, and on X as well. So I guess for the audiences, we'll see you again in the next roundtable happening very soon. And for our guests, again, thank you so much for spending this hour with us. And I look forward to seeing you guys in this coming future. But of course, right after roundtable, gonna go on and play Layer and Banana. You have my word. Have a good night and good day. Thank you so much, you guys, for coming.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.